Trial.
Hey everybody, and welcome to the David Sachs Show. It is Monday, October 6th,
Trial.
and let's get right to it. My guests for today are Cullen Riley Duffy and Ben Gordon. We welcome back Ben, and we welcome Cullen to the show for the first time. Both Ben and Cullen are members of the band Civics, who we thank for that awesome intro song, Coolidge. That's been our intro song for a long time, and it still is right now.
Very long time.
I'd also like to thank Nick Gibson of DJ Armani Productions. He is my producer. He is the reason that our sound is much improved, and we are so excited for that. And I said which Nick didn't want me to do. Before we get to our top stories, we got a Facebook at The David Sachs Show, Twitter at David Sachs Show, and we have an email at thedavidsaxshow@gmail.com. We would love for you to send us your questions and topics that you'd like to hear. Again, my goal for this show is to be a completely and totally interactive show, and we need your help in doing that. So, with that, let's get right to it. Our top stories. It was an unbelievable weekend in sports. Totally historic and wild. From an 18-inning postseason game to a historically large amount of upsets on college football Saturday, to a good day of NFL football, and much more. It was a weekend to remember, and we're going to cheat a little bit. We're going to start with Thursday, and we're just going to go day by day and recap all the tremendous events. So let's start with Thursday, but first, Ben Gordon and Cullen Riley Duffy, again, welcome.
Thank you. Happy to be here.
All right.
Acting like this is a real show.
This is a real show.
All right.
Have some self-respect. If you guys are on this show, so you should be happy that it's a real show because you guys are on it.
All right, Thursday.
So,
how many swags?
All right. I don't know what that means in this context. So, we start first with
Minnesota Green Bay.
Oh, I actually forgot about that.
Well, that was an awful game.
I didn't write that down because that was actually
two places nobody cares about.
Well, it was just an irrelevant game.
Well, yeah, they're in the middle of the country. Why?
No, it wouldn't. It was irrelevant because Green Bay was way too good for Minnesota.
And Minnesota didn't have Bridgewater.
And Jordy Nelson only caught one pass, albeit a 66-yard touchdown reception. Which was great for my fantasy. But I wanted more. I wanted more from Jordy, and I didn't get it.
Eddie Lacy went off. He had 2 touchdowns, right?
Do I care about Eddie Lacy?
You're really upset about this Thursday Night Football thing, right?
What do you mean?
The teams that they have and stuff.
Yeah, they've had every game has been awful.
What I can't understand is how they promote this. They put it on national TV, on CBS. They're making a humongous deal out of it.
They have Jim Nantz.
Right, they got Jim Nantz and Phil Simms. And yet, these games are all terrible. They've all been terrible games.
Really disrupting my Thursday night television.
I know, because you can't watch what you're usually looking for on CBS, which is just terrible.
But that great Y50 remake, man.
What is that?
It's better than Thursday Night Football.
Well, I would debate that to the death with you.
This Thursday, the Thursday Night Football they've been having.
Green Bay and Minnesota.
Yeah, they gotta give bitter. Like, you can't just throw in a division game if it's awful division game. Like, I know that being like, okay, Minnesota Green Bay division game, it'll be good.
Fox
that
Sports
doesn't mean it's
Midwest,
good.
Maybe.
Yeah, Fox Sports Midwest. I'd be happy it was on that.
Yeah, but let's get to the relevant sporting events.
Okay.
So we got huge baseball and huge football on that Thursday. We'll start with baseball. Anyone who's listening to the show, I had my guest Tommy O'Day and a surprise appearance from Andrew Florent, who helped us pick the NFL games and then got mad at Tommy O'Day. By the way, this is a fan question. I just have to say this. I'm going off topic here, but this has been an ongoing debate, which is Andrew thinks that Tommy was repeating everything that he said. So I need to know if you guys as viewers think that's true so we can settle this. But did either of you guys listen?
A little bit.
No.
I don't think he was that. Anyway, point is,
we'll tell Andrew that. We'll tell Andrew that.
Well, we will. Moving on.
So, we'll start with baseball because I guess we like baseball here more. by us, I mean the two of you. I love both.
Yeah, let's start
So
with baseball.
if you were listening, you heard us do a little bit of live play-by-play between the Orioles and the Tigers. The game was going on as we were recording, and the Orioles put a hurting on the Tigers. The Tigers bullpen really came up short in game. That was game
And
one.
the whole series.
Is that when they scored like 8 runs in the 7th or
That was
something
the
like
first time they did it. They did it twice.
Yeah, okay.
And
Against
Jabba
Jabba
Chamberlain is just awful.
They're all
Jabba Chamberlain was having a good year.
Yeah.
Well, he wasn't. Didn't he? He didn't. They didn't score any runs off him, did they? In the first game?
Oh no, the first game they did. Both games. He was awful both games.
It's the beard.
Is it the beard?
The beard.
Oh, I know.
I think it's just going. I think it's just going to the Tigers. Is that bullpen is awful. You just go there and you go there to be awful. Joe Nathan went there to be awful. I mean, it's like that simple. Like Joe Nathan was great in Texas the last few years. You can't say he was on the decline. He went to the Tigers and was awful. They went out and got David Price, and it didn't do anything for him. It's really interesting because David Price wasn't that good, but it's really interesting how they value these players. They value starting pitchers more than relief pitchers, right? But now we're in the postseason. Everyone's talking about, okay, who has the best bullpen? That's the first thing people are talking about. It's really interesting that they're not valuing these guys as much because they don't win you games in the regular season, but it comes to the playoffs, and that's what you need most.
I mean, the whole thing is that you can't in the postseason. You just need to be able to hold leads. These games go on for extra innings, and these games come down to the end. And if you don't have a good bullpen, you're not going anywhere.
Detroit does not have a good bullpen.
Right.
Yeah, awful.
It showed with the Tigers. That was a 5-star example of why you can't have a bad bullpen.
Yeah, and they go out and get another starting pitcher. What are you supposed to do? Are you supposed to give everything up for a closer? Because closers get paid like a fraction of what starting pitchers get paid because they don't pitch as many innings, and that's where you value starting pitching over relief pitching more. But then it comes to the postseason and you don't. It's really interesting. It's a really interesting debate, and I don't know if you're going to see these relievers get paid more because even though their workload is less. Now we're seeing that they're more important to these teams.
Is their work? Well, they pitch more in more games than starters.
But they pitch a third of the innings. But they do pitch in more games. It's mentally, it's not. It's harder.
And closers still, you can't overwork the closer. Closer still has to. They still give him breaks, so the closer doesn't pitch every game, and even in the regular season. So it's just that the Tigers have no.
Neither Tillman nor Scherzer was very good in that game. Mm-hmm. We probably didn't expect that much out of Chris Tillman. I know he's been having a nice year, and I did say on the show Thursday that I liked him, but I mean,
he's not an ace,
right? He's not an ace by any means. He went 5 innings, which really isn't enough. 4 hits, 2 earned runs, a walk, 6 strikeouts. Definitely not a bad outing, just not a really good outing. He did get the win, but you look at bullpens, and that's where everything changes. Andrew Miller comes in and just pitches tremendously, gets himself out of a lot of tough situations, pitched an inning and 2/3. Darren O'Day did give up a run in an inning, but at that point the game was over, and then Zach Britton does what he's been doing all year and got the hold. And meanwhile, you look over at the Tigers bullpen. Scherzer, for starters, really wasn't very good. 7 1/3 innings, 7 hits, 5 runs, a walk, and 6 strikeouts. That's not getting the job done. That's an ERA of 6.14, which is really, you're Max Scherzer, you're a Cy Young Award winner. And I think the story of this series is that although the Tigers' bullpen was awful, and that's probably the main reason they lost, I think that the main story from this series really has to be that the Tigers put the last 3 Cy Young Award winners out there, and these guys didn't get wins. And so, while it's on the bullpen...
Well, yeah, we're blaming a lot on the bullpen, but the starters weren't...
I mean, the starters need to put you in a position to win. And you're supposed to be sending 3 Cy Young Award winners out there. I'm having trouble. I don't know. The Tigers went wrong, clearly.
Yeah. Well, the David Price trade... The thing is that they barely gave him that trade. So it didn't really hurt them that much.
Right.
They get him for another year. They have another shot at it.
And we'll get to David Price more as we go when we get to Sunday in our 4-day weekend recap. But David Price, he really wasn't that good this year. We'll talk about this more, but the one stat I want to give on David Price at this moment is that the team's record, the record of the Detroit Tigers when he started the game this year, the Tigers were 6-5. That is not an impact. That's not a change at the deadline that has any impact when the guy's a game over 500 when he starts. The team's a game over 500 when he starts. You know?
Yeah.
I mean, it makes you really wonder if he might be a little overrated.
They almost lost the division after that trade.
Right. They got him to pitch in big games, right?
And they got him to pitch in big games.
He
came up short.
He didn't do it.
It's just like Lester. I mean, the A's got Lester to pitch in big games, and Lester imploded.
Yeah.
They needed Lester, and he failed them. And it's the same thing here in Detroit. We go through this bullpen. Jabba Chamberlain.
Except the difference is that the A's gave up Cespedes in that trade.
Right. The
Tigers. What did the Tigers give up in the trade to Price?
And that's true.
Not nearly as much.
Jabba Chamberlain only gave up. Chamberlain only gave up a run
in the first game, right?
In the first game.
Then he blew.
But he didn't get anybody out. But then, how about Joaquin Soria? A third of an inning with 3 hits and 4 runs. That's an ERA of 1.08.
And Soria was good.
And then
he's been really good.
And then
Phil Koch
who's been really good.
Yeah.
A third of an inning with the run.
But he's been really good with the Tigers the last few years. But I don't. It
was all part of an 8-run bottom of the 8th.
So the game was close until that point, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a good game.
Within reach. Yeah.
It was. It was 4-2. No, 4-3. It was a very close game. It was 4-3, and then that 8-run inning obviously made it 12-3.
I think
it was a close game.
Yeah, I think the story of this postseason, if the Royals keep having success, and I'm saying that because the Royals are built on bullpen and running, which is so un-Royal, which is so un-baseball. It's so foreign. Is what's going to be the future of the game? Is that what people are going to go for? Is the bullpen now? Because I know you said the starting pitching did not come up big, but this game, I mean, they also have hitters that didn't come up big. Number 1 and number 2, the Tigers are bad. Because of their bullpen, because their bullpen is bad. That's what it comes down to. That was their flaw, and it killed them. They blew 2 games.
Speaking of bad bullpens, we now go to good bullpens, which is what we saw in the second game of that Thursday night doubleheader between the Royals and the Angels. And the Royals' tremendous bullpen is what allowed them to win all these extra inning games. They won the extra inning game in the wild card game, and they won this game 1 here against the Angels because you look at their bullpen. Jason Vargas, who pitched admirably, and I mean admirably, 6 innings, 3 hits, 2 runs for a guy who's really not very good. Okay, but this bullpen didn't even give up a hit until Danny Duffy gave up a hit in I guess this would have been the 10th inning. Okay, so that's
all in the name.
It's all in the name, right? And then Greg Holland came in and got a save with no hits.
And
you look at this Royals bullpen here. It is the amount of zeros is staggering. Now Wade Davis did walk 2, and for those of you who watched the game, you know that Wade Davis was in some trouble, but he got out of it because he's really good.
He is really good.
Well,
Never. I mean, when you have these long games in the playoffs, you got to be able to have a bullpen that can go the distance.
The Angels pitched pretty well in that game too.
Yeah,
that was the close game.
Jared Weaver, 7 innings, 3 hits, 2 runs, pitched great, and then the bullpen
until the last run.
Yeah, Joe Smith.
Former Met. He was really good on the Mets. I don't know why they didn't.
Was? I don't remember him.
I don't know why they let him go.
I remember him being good on Cleveland, but not the Mets. The Mets, he was just that bald guy who was a Cyclones alumni.
Oh, well, you love him. Well, what I think is who's the guy that lost this? Salas?
Yeah.
There are a few trades.
He came from us.
Yeah, he came from the Cardinals. And there are a few trades that affected both his David Freese trade.
David Freese trade. David Freese.
So you have David Freese and Salas for
David Freese hit that home run game 1.
Yeah.
Big boy David Freese.
Yeah.